Hey y'all, it's Whiskey, and today's video is going to come with a bit of a trigger warning, but it's not going to be any bloody gory details or anything like that. But I am going to have to tell part of my trauma story in order to explain what's been going on the last few days. So I'm prepared for that, and I hope that it helps someone else and that I already know it's going to be worth it. So when I went and got my tooth pulled the other day, I had been putting it off for a while, and one of the reasons was because I knew that I already had dental trauma, and I already knew that I had other issues that I was dealing with and I'd been dealing with for that 19 years. But of course, life just presents things and you don't know until you know, right? So long story short, in 2005, I was strangled, beaten, stabbed, and robbed and left for dead. I obviously am here, so yay, right? But as an ending to that case, he'd actually murdered somebody else, and I helped put him away for life on her case. So that happened. But when I went to go to the dentist the other day and she went to pull the tooth, I have a plate in my neck and I wasn't holding my head still for the dentist to get the counter pressure. So the dental assistant had to hold my head and grabbed onto my jaw, and she was pulling one way and the dentist was pulling the tooth the other. Okay, and I have conversion disorder, which is mine shows up in tremors. So when I get really stressed or something imitates one of my previous traumas or anything like that, that tremor shows up. Well, when the dentist pulled the tooth, and she's an amazing woman, it's not anything to do with the dentist, okay? So when she pulled that tooth and I went through that, right after the tooth came out, I could feel that low-lying vibration in my body where it felt like a tremor was going to start. And I'm mentally telling myself, you're fine, let it go, you're fine. And I was like, that's really weird because my mouth was numb. I don't understand why it was showing up. Well, fast forward to today, and I went to the gym, and today was leg day. So I was doing deadlifts and sumo squats. So a lot of pressure and weight on my hips and my legs and my glutes. So when during the course of the strangulation part of that assault, I was on all fours and he was on top of me. So I had a lot of pressure on my lower back and my hips and my legs. And what had happened was the trauma from 19 years ago in my mouth and the dental work that I got done this week, they imitated each other, right? It was like kind of an energetic replay. And then when I went to the gym today, it was also an energetic replay. So when you combine the two, I ended up having issues at the gym today, which was trying to bring up, I had some tremors and I call it jello legs. And usually I can really recover from it pretty fast, but I ended up walking 4 miles at the gym today, and it took probably the first 2 miles for me to really get my land legs back, and that's usually not how it goes. So once I pieced all that together and realized that the two different things in my regular healthy life of taking care of myself were actually imitating my trauma, I was like, oh, okay, now I get it. And if you've been following me for a while, you understand, and I've said it before, once I identify what's going on with the trauma and I can get to the root of things, that trigger won't come back. So I know that this is, like I said yesterday, this is closing that loop. So I've been really tired, and I've been trying to give myself grace, but push through at the same time because I understand I'm safe, I'm okay, nothing's going on with me right now. It's imitating what had happened almost 20 years ago. And there's a book called The Body Keeps the Score. And that is what she's talking about in that book, is that your body will hold your trapped trauma energy until you find ways to push it out or it comes out and you deal with it. Okay. And that's what the gym does on a lot. I've had a lot of issues in the gym when I first started because that's what it was doing, was imitating it was pushing out other trapped trauma. So I've had conversion issues at the gym before. It's not a big deal. I'm used to it. But all this is to say that once I figured it out and once I didn't run from it, I'm processing it, I'm working through it, everything's going great. And then I did a seminar today talking about marketing and getting all my ducks in a row to build my courses and everything. Finally, y'all, I'm getting a course launched in 8 days. So that's what happened, was I finally figured it out. I finally identified, okay, I'm dealing with this was that, it's time to let all this go. And building this course and getting through this stuff is what is coming out of it. So yay, I'm so excited and so happy. But the key point on this and the question for yourself is, if you are somebody who has a massive physical trauma or something that you haven't worked through, and I understand this so much. I so do. And I know it's hard, but you have to do it, because it literally, you're not living your best life if you don't do it, right? Those points in our life where the anxiety kicks in and we get scared and we don't want to face it and we don't want to deal with it. I promise you, lean in, don't run from it, because running from it is never going to heal it and it's never going to go away. I don't crash and burn anymore. I'm not having huge anxiety issues anymore, right? I just had to identify it and go on. So just lean in and push in. And where are those points in your life? Where are those pressure points and where are those triggers? When you get those triggers, lean into them, look at them and ask yourself, what does this feel like? Where is this coming from? What can I do to fix this situation, right? And I promise you, the more you learn about it, and this is going to be part of my course actually that's coming out, what can I do to go through this? I can't go over it, around it, avoid it, because if I do, it will never go away. What can I do to lean into this? And that, my friends, is the ugly part of the healing process. But once you start doing it and you get used to it, I know that is so wonderful and so beautiful. And this is probably releasing, unless something else happens, that there's a trigger I don't know about. Once I'm done processing this and this is through, which is probably the next day or two, it's not going to come back again, right? Because I have the tools and I know what to do, and I can fix this and heal myself. And I so hope that you have the courage. I know you have the courage, not hope. I know, I have faith that you have the courage to lean in and give yourself the power and give yourself the strength, and empath, heal thyself. I love you so much, and you are so worth it. And I am here to help others and to teach others, because sometimes it's hell, but baby, on the other side, it's absolute heaven. All right. I love y'all. Keep on rocking.